is a reason why we have so many iconic trios in fiction and why we have the hero's journey. When I was studying, I learned that there are many different approaches when you want to analyze a literary text. I'm talking about Marxist theory, feminist criticism, or a more psychological approach, among others, of course. When considering this psychological approach, one of the authors to take into account is Carl Jung. Now, Jung proposed many things, but I'm going to focus on two of them: the collective unconscious and archetypes. Both of these concepts are very relevant when we want to study myth criticism. I'm not going to dive deep into a lot of this because of a lack of time, but just for you to know. Anyways, coming back to these two concepts. First of all, we have the collective unconscious. What is that? That is basically a universal memory that is full of archetypes. It's information and knowledge we all share and has been part of humanity basically since time immemorial. And it's like everything that we inherit from our ancestors. Archetypes are pretty similar to that because they are also inherited, but they are specifically figures that are full of rules and are supposed to represent something more specific. I'm going to take the different archetypes that Dobie presents. I'm talking about situations, characters, and finally we have images. In images, we have everything from colors, circles, and numbers. And this is where I want to highlight the following. The number 3 has more spiritual ties because it goes all the way back to the concept of the Holy Trinity. That is why when you see trios show up in fiction, particularly in fantasy, you know that something spiritual may be about to happen. You can feel that there is a spiritual energy around these 3 characters or around whatever plot point is connected to the number 3. As regards the hero's journey, that is also based on mythology because there are different stages that the hero has to go through in order to fulfill their destiny. So everything is also part of a formula. Nowadays, both the hero's journey and the number 3 have become part of stories beyond just the fantasy genre. Reason why this happens is because they are both part of this collective unconscious of ours. Well, at least according to myth criticism, because both of these archetypes, at the end of the day, the hero's journey is a type of archetype, refer back to something that is older than our memories, something that we have been trained to look for and to accept and to expect when we are reading a book or watching a movie or a TV show. So when we see a trio or when we see a number 3 or when we see a hero like refusing the call, we kind of know unconsciously what is supposed to happen next. Why? Because we have seen it before, either in this life or in a previous one.